All right, Guy Fieri here, and I'm gonna give it to you, folks. I'm gonna give you how to survive the weekday. You don't want chicken. You don't want to just have something quick, fast, and easy. You want something big, deep, and rich. Hey, maybe you want to cook pork butt on a Wednesday night. How are you gonna do it? The pressure cooker. We're actually gonna get into making one of my favorite dishes, one of the favorite dishes of the Fieri family, and that is pork chili verde. Let's talk about chili verde. So, throw some heat on that bad boy. Little bit of oil. Pork butt, boneless, been trimmed off. We're gonna cut it in about 1.5 inch cubes. Your butcher can do this for you if you want. But this is a boneless pork butt. Like I was saying, though, you could get into blade steaks, whatever kind of meat you have. But look at all that connective tissue. This is what we love about pulled pork. You know, pulled pork for, like, barbecue pulled pork sandwiches. And this that we're doing right here, let's say you don't want to take it into pork chili verde and you wanted to take it barbecue, real easy to do. Now, it's not going to be the low and slow smoke style, but what it is going to do is really help you break this down, break all this connective tissue, and give you tons of flavor. Liberally seasoned with some salt. See how I'm doing that salt up high like this? I'm not doing this. It's so I get an even disbursement of the salt. Okay? Pan's hot, oil smoking a little bit. We'll go ahead and drop these in. Don't drop them. I was just going over this with Ryder the other day. Don't drop them from here. I know you don't want to burn yourself. See, I just drop it on the inside of the pan? Right like that. This is just about as much pork as you're gonna want to do in this pressure cooker. We've got a lot of other ingredients we're gonna add into this, but there is a line. We can't go filling it right up to the top like this. We gotta stay about 2/3 in here. So this is just about the amount of pork that I'm gonna be able to put in here from this boneless pork butt, okay? Let me wash my hands. Okay, while that's browning, let's get into the rest of the game. See this beautiful baking rack that you have? We're gonna rack it. Yeah, you gotta have one that you rack, okay? So I'm gonna throw it right on here. I'm gonna take some of these beautiful tomatillos. If you haven't worked with tomatillos, you are missing it. One of my favorite. It's got a nice tang to it. Now, it's raw here, so we're gonna roast it a little bit, which will help mellow it out. Hit a little bit of oil on it while I'm doing that. Poblanos in Anaheim. Give these guys a little touch of some oil, and we're just gonna give them a quick roast. Now, I'd love to sit there and roast them on the open fire, but maybe it's that time of the year where we don't have the open fire going. We're just gonna do it right here. Look at that. That little blister right there is gonna add so much flavor. If you don't wanna do it this way, if you don't have the ventilation in the house, you wanna take that pan right there, go ahead, crank that oven to 500, take those, throw them on, little salt, little pepper, little olive oil, boom, give them a toss, throw them in the oven, let them go till they start blistering up like this. It will change the flavor dramatically. Now what I'm looking for in this pork, right there, okay? Nice caramelization. All that's working. I've got some hot water here. Grab some pasilla chilies. Every pepper that you saw in its fresh form had a form that, that ended up dried because you have them just growing in abundance. They got to do something with them. So we're going to take the stem and the seeds out. I got a lot. Some hot water, and we're just going to steep these here until they become nice and soft. So what is pork chili verde? Well, you get all this beautiful, big, chewy flavor and fat. Let me get some heat on that. Coming from the pork. And then we're going to make this delicious sauce with these peppers and a little bit of white wine. Now, if we were going to be taking the skins off of these, we, of course, sweat them out, but we don't need to in this situation. So you can do this. Again, I don't want you to get hung up. Sometimes people will write in and they'll say, well, I don't have a pressure cooker. Yes, I think it's critical, but you can do this with a Dutch oven. It'll take you a little bit longer, but you can sear the meat off, finish it in your oven. That's the old school way of doing it, right? Adapt and overcome. We're up here at the ranch. We're not very close to a store. So if we need something, a lot of times we've adapted recipes just because, like, oh, we don't have that? All right, give me that. That's how it works. This is pork chili verde we're making. But right now, you could take this pork, go Italian. You could take this pork, break it down, go Asian. So whatever we pop in here, now we're going to start to create that dish. But otherwise, you've got yourself some really nice, beautiful, seared off pork butt that is just ready to get tender, okay? The pepper, look at this, rehydrating itself. That's about done. Anaheim's done, done, done. We'll let everybody cool down for a second. Okay. We've got all this great flavor that's been developed with the pork. I gotta get some onion in there, and I want it to get a chance to caramelize up. So I'm gonna take the pork out of there for a second. And these can be kind of rustic. When this thing goes under pressure and it gets as hot as it's going to get, what's gonna take place is stuff is really gonna start to break down. I mean, we'll hit it with immersion blender if necessary, but usually if you get your cuts kind of in the medium-sized dice, it's all just gonna turn into the same sauce. Super hot, and the nice thing about pressure cookers, they usually have a pretty big, heavy bottom to them so they don't burn real easy, and that's one of the things we do wanna watch out for, because when we're rolling the heat, we wanna make sure that all that pressure that's building isn't burning inside him, because there's no opening it up. Pork's done. Here we go. A lot of that residual fat left in there. Go in with the onions. Touch with the salt. Okay, just sweating those a little bit. I need to add a little bit more oil. Let's drop a little bit of garlic in. I like a lot of bit of garlic. I'm gonna give a rough chop on this. Don't go too fine with it. Remember, that thing is super hot and we haven't deglazed yet or anything, and we don't wanna burn the garlic. In with the onions. Everybody's getting ready to go in the pool here in a second. Those chiles that I was steeping in the hot water, just give those a rough chop. Stems and seeds are off. Okay. Now, let's say that you're starting to get a little hot right now, you're starting to burn inside of there. What would you do? Exactly, grab some of that steeping liquid and throw it right in there. It's all flavor, folks. Turn my heat down a little bit on that. All right, let's bring everybody over to the party. We'll drop the pork back in with the onions. We're gonna drop the tomatillos back in with their char, nothing we need to do to them. Again, we gotta watch that line. I want you to do that, I want you to pay attention. Most of these pressure cookers are gonna have a line in there and say, don't go above this, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna be boiling inside. So when it's boiling inside, oh, that's delicious. You want it boiling out over the top of the valve, okay? We want that char, all that big flavor. Take some of those seeds out. See how I did that little move there? They are hot right now. If you could let them rest a little bit, you'd probably save your fingertips. Ow. Okay, beautiful. Smokey, what are you doing over here? My companion, the boys are off doing something, dirt bikes or whatever, and so the only one I've got stuck in this kitchen with me is Smokey. Again, very similar to how we just handled that onion. Just make them in medium-sized, rough chop, and you'll be fine. And you want to talk about flavor. If you don't have a chance to roast those peppers off, don't worry about it, but I'm gonna tell you, it is a real foundation, real flavor builder. Everybody in the pool here. And I gotta go quick, because I can start to smell that we're running out of liquid. I can start to hear it. So what would you want to deglaze this with? A lot of options, a lot of things that I think it needs. Needs some acid for sure. Little white wine. Sauvignon Blanc is what I like to go with. Chardonnay gets to be a little too rich, a little too oaky, so forth. This is nice and clean and fresh and bright. If you don't like wine and you can't use it, that's fine. Just maybe a little more of the vinegar. We'll get some chicken stock. You have your own chicken stock, that'd even be better. There we go. And then just a touch of a little bit more acid, a little vinegar. Everybody's in the pool. Before we do that, let's hit the final seasoning. A little cumin, a little cumino. I'm heavy with the cumin. A little Mexican oregano. If you haven't got into a Mexican oregano, I want you to check it out. It's bigger and flakier. It's kind of like Sicilian oregano, and you'll see it. It's got this nice blossom to it. It's got a nice crunch. It's the oregano that I use in my house completely. I don't even use the other type. It just, you look at it, it just looks so pale in comparison. This Mexican oregano is the bomb. And a bay leaf. Did I hit any black pepper? Like you can go wrong with this, right? I want you to look at this. So you don't see that much liquid. We need to cover that with just about an inch of water or an inch of something. And we'll add just enough to the top of it, kind of like braising, just a little bit. We're gonna lock it. We're gonna turn it to 1. There's 2 different settings, and that's the different pressure. You need to read your pressure cooker and understand what pressures are at what setting. But the key is we're down. Now, it's gonna start to get hot, and then it's gonna start to make a noise. Don't be scared of the noise, but I want you to watch it, that you're on full blast right now. As soon as you start to hear the noise, I want you to bring this over, and I want you to turn it down to about medium. And listen, does the noise stay consistent, or has it continued to build? Listen, a couple times with this, you're gonna be a pro. Don't worry about it. This is set it and forget it now. We come back, we are gonna have the bomb Chile Verde. See you in a bit. Ready for some pork chili verde? This pressure cooker's been running 35, 40 minutes. This is the greatest technique in the world. I'm gonna show you this little move. So I'm gonna turn off the heat. You can hear that hissing. That's a little bit of the pressure being released. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this, turn off the heat, bring it over to the stove, or bring it over to the stove, release the valve. I'm releasing any steam that's in there, and I'm cooling down the pot, which is gonna slow down the boil, which is gonna release some of the pressure, which is not gonna be making any more pressure. And this stuff is so hot inside of here, boiling above the normal boiling temperature, 212. Release this, pop it off, and you can see that I'm still boiling right there. Now, if I find that when I grab this, the meat's not done, I can easily put the lid back on and get it going for another 15 minutes and bring it up to temperature really fast. While this has all been working, by the way, I've got some tortillas going. This is how you really do tortillas the right way. Ah, it's hot. There we go, nice little char to them. Let's check that pork. Remember, all the peppers that are in there, the tomatillos, the garlic, the onions, and look at that, if that's not tender, that's hot. Oh, good. Oh my gosh. Tender, tangy, rich, a little bit of salt, a little bit of acid. Put those off to the side. Slotted spoon. What I want to do now is bring this over, get some of the pork out. I've got all this liquid inside. I'm going to thicken that up in just a second, but I don't want to try to stir in that masa like we make the tortillas with all of these big pieces of pork in there. It'll be too hard to get it to mix up, and then we'll get clumpy, like almost like dumplings inside of there. Good. Back on some heat. There's a whisk, a little masa. Okay, and just slowly stir this in. And remember what happens as soon as that masa hits in there, it's gonna start to thicken up. Doesn't react as fast as just a regular flour would. There we go. Just adds a little body to it, because it was a little, you saw how thin it was? And we don't want it to be a chowder. Looking good. Oh, beautiful. Now you see how it has a little bit more body to it? And here's the great thing about this. What we don't eat, we'll take and make enchiladas. Freezes really good. You've got that whole pork butt you just worked with. This is so, I don't want to say durable. This has so much body to it and so much strength to the dish that you could freeze this. You could add beans to it, make it into a chili. I mean, there's just so many different directions. We put this over pasta. Now we get into it with some of my favorites. A little cotija cheese on top. Little cilantro, some green onions. Everybody likes a little crunchy factor to it. Fried tortilla strips. Give it a kiss of some fresh lime juice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not kidding you. When we talked about doing this and sending you some recipes that you can really grab right now at the store, bring home, knock it out, 15 minutes in a pot, 30 to 45 minutes later, and in an hour's time, you're serving this for your family. That's what this whole thing is about, right? We take this, we load it up. That doesn't look good at all, does it? Yeah, right. There's no way you can cook a pork butt down. There's no way you can cook a pork butt down that fast and that much flavor without using that pressure cooker. I hope you guys go and try this. You're gonna love this recipe, okay? Take care, adios.